Hey everybody, Tony D here with a change of scenery. So I'm out in my backyard enjoying the sun. Joan is very confused, but thought I'd update you on New Jersey. Sort of good news today. The increase in cases was only about 3,300, which is down from about 4,200 yesterday. And if you count the day before that, 4,200 was down from 4,400. This is the daily increases of cases. So, we're not at a net negative yet by any stretch. But if this holds, Monday will be an important day. If this holds tomorrow, then we could see a trend of the cases starting to go down, which would make sense because 2 weeks from now was the first real weekend where people were starting to treat this seriously and starting to say, yeah, I guess a better social distance or whatever. By this time 2 weeks ago, I was laid off, and we were all applying for unemployment and trying to figure out what we were going to do and how long this was going to last. And I was ordering too much stuff on Amazon. Oop, did I get rained on? Something fall out of the tree, I think. Anyhow, Joan is barking at the neighbor's dog, by the way, or the spot where the neighbor's dog would be if the neighbor's dog was outside. Anyhow, New York is still in dire straits. Doesn't look good. Hopefully people are staying inside. I know Tim Pool is, I was watching his videos, he's freaking out a bit. He's thinking about leaving South Jersey. I think that would be a foolish move to move anywhere really at this point, unless you have a better place to hunker down with more food that's more isolated. I don't really see the need for it as of yet. Things are still functioning in New Jersey as far as I can tell. Yes, the majority of businesses are closed down, but the stores are still open. A lot of places are still open for takeout. My favorite pizza place is open for takeout, thank God. And but now that money's tight, that's not necessarily a good idea unless they're offering a real low amount of discounts on the food. For me, in terms of the food situation, I just got a bunch of stuff delivered. Not a bunch, but a few things delivered. I actually ordered I guess it's a Hickory Farm smoked summer sausage, because it was like the only kind of meat you could get through the mail, and it seemed like a good deal. Amazon gives you the ratio of cost per ounce. So I ordered that, and when you order on Amazon, you order $25 bundles, and then the shipping's free. So each time I was ordering at least $25 worth of stuff. So I did that, but it doesn't all come together. So the sausage came in an envelope and was just left on my stoop in the hot sun, and I didn't even know it was there. And of course, last night I stayed up to a ridiculously late time. And so I don't know how long the sausage has been sitting in the sun. Now it's the kind of, it's a smoked sausage, so I guess it's not going to go bad, but sitting in the sun, now I have to worry. I guess that's better for the virus, that the germs are dead on it, I guess. I don't know. So I'm sort of putting stuff out that I order and leaving it, after I wipe it down, leaving it sit out for a few days. And so I was tempted to put it in the fridge, but if you put it in the fridge, that kind of negates the purpose of, letting the virus die on it. So right now I have it out because it was so warm to the touch from sitting in the sun. I figured, well, I guess I'll just let it cool off until it gets to room temperature and then maybe put it in the fridge. I don't know. Anyhow, the last thing I need is to get food poisoning from mail order sausage and have to go somewhere. Fortunately, I have other foodstuffs that I can eat. I'm doing the math on it every day to see when I'm going to run out. So far, I think I'm okay. You know, my plan is to get past the peak, which is mid-April at the very least, before I even think about going anywhere. You know, it's going to be tight. There was one thing on Amazon I ordered, only because it was almost the same price as the store, and it was just an addendum to my order, and that was a bag of chips, potato chips. Hers potato chips with base seasoning, which for some reason I guess people don't like. So it was still cheap. So I got one bag just to treat myself, but it hasn't arrived yet. It's killing me. Anyhow, the situation in New Jersey continues to be nominal, perhaps better. We'll see tomorrow. And I did finally get my copy of Doom Eternal in the mail, so I'm very excited about trying that, and perhaps hooking it up and doing some live streaming with it if I can figure out how to do that. Not sure I have the right cables though. I have to dig through my cables to see if I can hook it up to the computer and make that work. I did have an HDMI cable at one point. I'm not sure if I still have it, but we'll see. I think I need in fact, I think I need that HDMI cable to go from the Xbox to the TV, so that may be the issue, but we'll see later. If you see me live streaming, that's what I'll be doing. I also want to get it so I can live stream with myself in the, you know, webcam, and perhaps little Joan, who is funny in this crisis. She desperately wants to go out, and then she gets out, and then it seems like outside is very limited. I don't know. It's very limited entertainment for her, and so, you know, when I'll just take her out to go pee, it's like she doesn't go, and I have to sort of come on. You know, it might be cold, or I might be in the middle of something, and I'm just like, Joan, just go. And she's got to sniff everything like she's sniffing now, and eventually she goes, but it seems to take a while. But then the moment she does, it's like, no, I don't want anything to do with this now, even though it was just infinitely fascinating to sniff every blade of grass a minute ago. So go figure. But anyhow, that's what I'm doing, obsessing over the dog. Joan, do you want to be in the video? Come here. Yeah, she doesn't come when I call her. This is my new lamp, by the way, for the outside, the outside shot. I couldn't figure out how to get the lamp out here. I guess I could have brought out a table. That would have been, I guess I could do that. I don't know. Seems weird to have a lamp outside. But anyhow, that's the report from New Jersey. So I hope everybody is safe, and I hope you're doing well. Check out some of the comments in the YouTube channel, because I'm getting some interesting comments. I was in a kind of a weird discussion with a guy over the movie Cuck. So I examined the trailer for Cuck in a screenwriter's rant. You could look it up. And you tell me from the conversation, I can't figure out his point. He freely admits that, I don't think he's trying to be rude, but he freely admits that English is a second language. He seems to be trying to pin me down like a guy in an internet chat room, trying to pin you down in an argument, and I'm just lost to what, I've explained myself multiple times, and it doesn't seem to do anything other than get him to question me more in a sort of weird, opaque way that I don't quite understand. Lots of discussion online, by the way. People are getting antsy. Imgur, of course, hates me today because today was the anti-war comic, which is very political, and so there was a lot of discussion there. and one hater in particular who seems to be obsessed with me, which is a good sign. It's always a good sign when you have haters who go through trouble, as long as it doesn't get out of hand. Another discussion, it's always with the anti-war comic. So today, Sunday's anti-war comic was, or Saturday's anti-war comic was about Trump's press conferences, and I have this comic with a man and a woman, which I've used before, and they're kind of discussing things, and the woman gets upset and points at the TV. So this time I made it about the Trump press conferences, and basically my point of the comic was that people are too hysterical, I think, over the press conferences, and they're not really discussing the issues around the press conferences. And Trump kind of is, or at least he's attempting to engage. I think Trump's strategy has always been to act more normal than the least normal person in the room, which normally wouldn't be a good strategy. Like he employed that strategy in the 80s, and it kind of didn't work all the time. He would only get so far with his bravado and stuff. But now that he's employing it, and the journalists are so unhinged, he looks like the only reasonable guy in the room. Now, that doesn't mean all his points are valid. It just means that seems to be engaging in a discussion while they're just screaming at him. And that was kind of the point of the comic. And people are caught up, and people that don't like Trump are caught up in that side of it, and they don't understand that their arguments are falling on deaf ears because they're too emotional about it, and they're not expressing it in a rational way. And there's certainly things to be said about the stimulus. I think it's a bad idea. I think, so far it's, there's a lot of money going out the door that we're gonna, it's our money, and we're gonna have to pay for it, basically. Will this work? I don't know. Will it be fast enough? I don't know. And then you have the other side. The Democrats aren't arguing for no money. They're just arguing for more money in different locations. And some of those locations are so ridiculous, you want to just facepalm and say, well, what the hell are you doing? So, I know this video went to a lot of areas. I don't know what I'm going to call it now. Anyhow, that's the hot take from outside, and feels like it's starting to drizzle, so I might have to go back in.